What are the 3 things you can do to make your next networking event the most profitable networking event you've ever been to? Join me on this episode of the Dave Lorenzo Daily to find out. Hi, I'm Dave Lorenzo, and here are the 3 things you can do to make your next networking event the most profitable networking event ever. Number 1, do research on who will be attending the event in advance. That's right, do research on who's going to be at the event before you go. Call the person who's running the event in advance. Wait till about 2 or 3 days before the event. Call up and say, I'm attending the event and I'd like to know who will be attending from this industry because I'd like to make connections with them. Networking events exist to connect people. The person who runs the event will be thrilled that you're doing some research in advance to connect, and they may even make an introduction for you to that person. The second thing you can do when you go to a networking event is get your connections out of the way early. Dedicate the first half hour to 45 minutes of your attendance at the networking event to finding the 3 people with whom you want to meet. Just 3. Look for those folks. If there's someone who can introduce you, that's great. If you have to walk up to them and just introduce yourself, that's fine too. Do not try and sell anything at the networking event. Just go, introduce yourself, and tell them that you've always wanted to meet them. Give them the reason why you want to meet them, why maybe you admire them for something. Introduce yourself, exchange contact information, and then move on. You can follow up after the networking event, but just let them put a face to the name. The third thing you can do to get the most out of a networking event is immediately follow up. After the networking event is over, I don't care if it's 12 o'clock, midnight, I want you to send an email telling them how great it was to meet them. I want you then to write a handwritten note following up, put your business card in the handwritten note saying how great it was to meet them, and drop it in the mail the very next day. So you're sending an email and a handwritten note the very next day. Then, about a week later, I want you to call and introduce them to someone else. Make an appointment to introduce them to someone who could be of value to them. That's the key to getting the most out of a networking event. First, you're going to find out who's going to be there in advance. Second, you're going to look for 3 people and only 3 people at a networking event. Don't go to a networking event looking to hand out business cards like a crazy person. You're only looking to meet 3 people. And when you meet them, you're making an introduction. You're introducing yourself to them, putting a face with a name, and then you're following up immediately with an email and a handwritten note. Then 1 week later, you're going to call them and introduce them to someone who can help their business. Introduce them to someone who can help them solve a problem or help them achieve a goal. That's how you make the most out of a networking event, this 3-step process. Research in advance, meet and introduce, don't sell at the networking event, and then follow up and deliver value within a week's time. Introduce them to someone who can help them grow their business, help them achieve a goal. Networking events are about introductions. They're not about selling. Find 3 people who you can help at each networking event, and if you go to 3 networking events a month, that's 9 new people who are looking to refer you business and help you grow. That's the secret to making the most out of a networking event. I'm Dave Lorenzo. We're here every day, and until tomorrow, I hope you do this and sell more.